'88 on the Burg, your music central. It's another day of Orton the Bear. Happy Challenge Thursday. We got a good one coming up, so stay tuned. Bottom of the hour, it's coming to you. It's '88 on the Burg. Peyton Barons, Will Ortner. Will, welcome back in.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here. Just got off the phone with friend of the program, the great Dr. Dennis Francois. Had a nice little conversation with him. It was a good time.
Good friend, good friend. Now, one thing that is sweeping the nation right now, obviously, we've all been in quarantine. Everyone's been playing video games. Now is the time that video games, I would say, are peaking in mankind. I think everybody out there wants the Nintendo Switch if they don't have one, just because you can play it from anywhere. I know I've been looking into the Switch, basically so I can play FIFA from my bedroom, the living room, on the toilet. Wherever I want to play FIFA, I could play FIFA. But there's new games coming out that are making some big waves. I know that right now there's 2K version of golf. The PGA Tour is getting a 2K version. Will, are you a golf video game guy?
Back in the day, yeah. I really enjoyed back when it was Tiger Woods PGA. And you spend like the extra $5 or whatever, you could get the Masters edition. And so you'd have the Masters course on it, and you'd have different PGA Tour events. And it was a fun game to play.
Yeah, I never caught on once they switched it to Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour because Rory sucks.
Rory sucks.
And another video game that is coming out that is kind of it's a retro. It's coming back. It's Tony Hawk's Underground Pro Skater 1 and 2 combined for the new platforms, PS4, Xbox, and it's going to be in the new streaming 4K. It's going to be beautiful. Did you ever play Tony Hawk's Underground growing up?
No, I never got into skateboarding or any of that stuff. I think the big one, I guess, that would fit in that genre is I did have like a Shaun White snowboarding one on the Wii, and you could have it, and you had the Wii remote, and you'd flip and do all the different twists and stuff. But that was about the extent of how far I got into that kind of garbage.
See, now the true video game aficionados would say you need to go back and play Ssx Tricky, which was a snowboarding game before graphics got any good. Man, it was like NBA Street and NFL Street met with snowboarding, and it was perfect.
Oh, really? Could you be snowboarding down to punch your competition in the face?
We could shove people, and there was always good soundtracks on it, and you could have your guy, just wearing a tank top and some shorts, rolling down the mountain. It was a good time. I've also heard the new Xbox is starting to ramp up. People are talking about that a lot. It's probably going to come out this holiday season, and supposedly,
PlayStation also.
Yeah, supposedly the new Xbox is going to be able to play all the old games, whether it's Xbox 360, Xbox One, or original Xbox. It's going to be compatible with all those. Would you pay a stupid amount of money to be able to go back, play all these old games?
Maybe, but it'd have to be the right games. So you'd have to bring back NCAA football. If you went back in and you got one of the NCAA football, it doesn't even have to be the most recent one, the one with Denard Robinson on it. It could be all the way back to even the one where Reggie Bush was on the cover. It doesn't really matter to me. If you brought back that game and did it all up in 4K, did it the right way, you would probably get me to buy it. Or maybe the old, I want to say it was NFL Blitz or something, where you could run up and you did a super tackle and it'd break the guy's ribs. That was fun.
Those are some good games. I'm trying to think what other games I would go back and play. If I had PS4, Crash Bandicoot up there for sure.
Never got it.
I was a GameCube kid for a little while, did all the Mario things, knocked those out pretty quickly. But yeah, I think really NCAA football any year is a huge push for me to want to go out and get the new Xbox. But I want to hear from the people. Shoot us a message, send us a tweet at 881theberg on Twitter. Tell us what video game you want to be retroed and be able to go back and play. Could be any genre, whether it's a PS4, whether it's Xbox, whether it's Nintendo. Tell us what console you're playing on. Tell us, what kind of game, why you like that game. What's the best video game ever? Will, do you have a preference on top video game ever?
For me, it's anything NCAA football. I mean, NCAA basketball is up there too, but they kind of fell off right when NCAA football, they made the right choices. They got really big. So I'm pretty excited to see that. And I'm also excited to see 2K is making a new football game. So it'll be nice for Madden to finally be pushed to innovating for the first time in like 15 years.
88.1 The Burg, your music central. It's Orton the Bear. It's Challenge Thursday, and we got Will doing some gross stuff that was beautifully thought of by our engineer, our producer, Elliot. So thank you so much to him behind the scenes for getting Will to do this. Now, Will is standing in his kitchen right now, cowering over his laptop. And Will, why don't you tell me what you got in your hands?
All right, so I've got some milk here, and then I've got salt in my chicken. You can.
That's a salty chicken.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
there you
go.
go.
It's one of those ones where you can get a little pinch and.
Exactly.
That's a
pinch and drop it in.
Usually I got like the salt shaker, but doing a little pinch, so much fancier. I like that a lot.
It might not help you be a better chef, but I think it makes you think that you're a better chef.
100%. When you're grabbing spices and just tossing them in instead of just shaking, it feels so much better.
It's an attitude. It's completely an attitude thing.
All right. So from my understanding, you're going to add.
You're a good chef. You're very upset.
You're going to add some salt to this milk, and you are going to drink said salty milk.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a couple of handfuls here where I just drop in some salt.
I want an adequate amount of salt in it.
It's, I'll do one more just for you. See, it's going in.
I don't know. I don't trust that that's... Will you show me the cup and show me you sprinkling salt into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got you. There you go. You got even one more.
I don't know if that's enough, man.
Dude, I did. There you go.
Now you got to stir it?
Stir it. I got the spoon. If this is gross, I'm going to be so upset with you.
By the end of this, we're going to find out whether Will is a chocolate milk fan, a strawberry milk fan, or a salty milk fan.
Chocolate. Strawberry milk isn't real.
What about plain? Do you drink just plain milk?
All the time. Love it.
Good. That's the right answer.
Oh, that's so gross.
We'll just lick the spoon. So, how big's your cup? We show me. Okay,
it's like an average small cup. Oh, dude, you can see it at the bottom.
Oh, stir that a little bit more. You got a nice whiskey glass worth of milk there.
Yeah.
Look.
Get it. Ugh, it's just sitting down there. What is that? I can't even tell. I'll tell you what, though, that was the grossest spoon lick I've ever had.
So should I put a time limit on you, or do you think just finishing this at some point is good enough?
I think just finishing it at some point is good enough, because that did not taste good. There's got to be something to do with it. Like, ooh.
All right. Go ahead and get started on it. This... You did swallow it.
Yeah. That was gross.
You didn't even try to swallow it. You just let it ferment in your mouth.
Dude, you can't swallow that. That was pure hell.
Wait, will you take another drink?
Why?
Because I want you to swallow it.
Dude, I'm a spitter, man. That's not fair. Thank you. Oh, dude, I'll never drink milk again.
That's good. Just don't think about crackers or like...
You totally set me up for that. Oh, my God. Elliot totally knew that was going to happen, too, because he wouldn't tell me what was going to happen. That was so gross.
So you put 2 drinks worth in your mouth, and then you didn't even finish either of them. You just spit them out into the sink.
The second one crawled back up out of my throat.
This is a huge L for you on Challenge Thursday.
Ugh.
How do you feel?
I feel gross. I have no shame in that. That's nasty. That's the worst thing ever.
Worst thing that you've ever done?
Oh, it's in my beard. Oh, to my mustache. Ugh. Yeah, that's the worst thing I've ever done. It's not close.
You're not going to try and finish that glass? You know, they say that milk has great protein and calcium. And he poured it out. There's no persuading him now.
Look at all the salt. Look at that.
Well, Will, kudos to you for taking that on. I appreciate you for enduring all of our challenges. I'm going to let you wash out your mouth. We're going to take a quick break, get back into the music. It's Ort and the Bear right here on 88.1 The Burg, your Music Central. 88.1 The Burg, your Music Central. It's Ort and the Bear. Ort just performed one of the worst Challenge Thursdays I've ever seen. He failed miserably at it. And I'm kind of happy that he failed, because if he didn't fail at it, I'd be concerned about what his taste buds, things like that. He just tried drinking, a Scotch glass worth of milk and salt. How you feeling over there, bud?
Dude, it keeps coming back up. Like every time, like I just coughed and I sneezed earlier, and it just like, oh, it's like on the back of my, it's in the back of my throat. I just don't feel good.
Yeah, you probably should have mouthwashed it out or something. Maybe gargle some salt water. That might get rid of the taste a little bit.
Nothing with salt, dude.
No more salt. Well, Will, things are happening in the sports world. We're trying to figure out, trying to get a grip on what things are going to look like. And college sports are really up in the air because, a lot of the players aren't. We're still in that stage where NCAA players aren't profiting off of their play, so it would be really reckless for them to go out and try and play. We already seen in the Division II level, the CCAA said that they will not participate in fall sports in the 2020 season. So coming up, fall semester, fall quarter, they're not going to be playing. What do you take from that? What do you think about that?
Well, and I mean, let me just preface, this is my own personal opinion. This isn't doctor-based or anything like that. So if you want to send hate mail, please send it to my boss, Jeff McMillan, and then Jeff, shred it through the paper. But I just think it's way too early. Like, at this point, it seems to me like when we're figuring this out, everyone's kind of figuring it out at the same time. Even the experts, to me, don't seem like they're that far ahead of everybody, right? And so to cancel stuff for September, October, November, December, all the way out here at the beginning, middle of May, that just seems a bit reckless to me. I would have liked them to wait. I like how at Central right now we haven't made a decision yet, and I think that's the right choice. I think states that haven't made a decision yet and schools that haven't made a decision yet is the right choice, because we don't know, what if it goes down in the summer? Or what if we're able to find safe ways that we can still play while also being quarantined? I just think it's too soon for California schools and the CCAA to go out and say, we're not going to play sports. We're not going to do it in the fall.
Well, let me ask you this, Will. I mean, what if they're preventing something that's not virus related, where right now you, as a football player, would be playing spring football. Your guys' spring game would be near completed.
We would have already played it, yeah. You
guys will have already played your spring game. You've lost out on all this training. Your bodies aren't in the same sort of shape, which means you are more prone to injuries come the fall without all this, the spring and the summer worth of preparation. Do you think that the CCAA could be looking at their athletes and saying, hey, it's not worth risking the injury since they're not having the proper training beforehand?
Well, and again, so that's on the athlete, really. If you're looking at it from an injury standpoint, like, and I get that injuries next year or whenever sports comes back, let's be honest, they're probably going to be higher. If you look at lockout years in different sporting leagues, that's when you do see higher injury rates. But at the same time, all of those teams are giving you your workouts that you're supposed to do. Like, Central sends me workouts that I'm supposed to do, and I go out and I do them every day or every day that it's listed that I'm supposed to do them, right? So it's, to me, I feel like you're not going to be able to train, I think, quite fully to the extent that you normally would. Obviously, gyms are closed, stuff like that. But I do think that you can do enough to put your body in the best position possible to stay healthy throughout the year. And let's not forget, like last year, I trained the whole year and I still got hurt and I missed my last 3 games. So, injuries happen and they're part of the sporting world. I don't think that you should not play a season because you're afraid of someone getting hurt. That's just the name of the game.
What about certain states opening earlier, giving different, schools or professional teams the ability to try and work out? Like Florida completely reopened right now. So if we take a look at baseball, the Miami Marlins can go out, they can go and play, while the Seattle Mariners, we can't do anything up here. Should all the teams just be going down to Florida to go down and train and work this thing out, or should they be waiting for their own state?
Well, I mean, I think it works based on the league, right? So a lot of teams in college sports have said that, if one state is open and another state isn't, they're going to keep playing and that team will just play catch up, or maybe those games get moved to the end of the year. Maybe those teams don't play at all. It's at a point now where, because each state gets to make their own decisions, a lot of different schools and a lot of different places, they're going to kind of go on the process of like, well, we're open, so we're going to play. When you look at those major sporting leagues, MLB has thrown out some options, like Arizona's open too. So they're talking about doing like an 82-game regular season where all the Arizona teams play against all the Arizona teams for like spring training. So that would include the Mariners. And all of the Grapefruit League or the Florida teams, they all play each other. So there's different ways around it, and it's a lot easier for the major sports leagues, because they can kind of work. They have a little more flexibility. Whereas like with Central Washington, like we can't call up Arizona University and go down and play in Tucson like that. They're not going to let us do that. So when you look at the sports leagues, there's a little more freedom. There's a little more ability, like the UFC, to have their fights. For baseball, it's possible that you could go by and do the spring league stuff and have your games that way. So there's all kinds of different ways to work around it.
No, and I agree, but I do think that, like you said earlier, waiting right now is the right move. It's a little early to be making decisions on anything. Wait a little bit, make the right decisions. Don't rush things just for sports sake or, student sake, for money's sake. Don't do it for the wrong reasons. With that being said, everybody out there, stay safe. We'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow. Don't forget it. It's Orton the Bear right here on 88.1 The Burg, your Music Central.
Love you, Rumi.